Hey, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at Band Protocol. I do want to say that I'm not a financial advisor. You should do your own research before investing money into crypto. Without further ado, let's jump straight into the charts. So taking a look at the daily chart right now, this is not a project that we have looked at before on this channel in terms of technical analysis. So I do own Band Protocol and I am going to be buying more tokens, especially if we dip lower toward the $1.5 range. But right now we have a Fibonacci retracement set on the chart with the swing high printed in April 2021 and the swing low printed in October of 2020. Our 1.618 target was sitting exactly at $1, and as you can see, that has been met perfectly in October of 2022. From there, we saw a very strong impulsive move to the upside, 270%. We retraced in March of 2000, actually, sorry, that was November. So from October into November, we did almost a 4x. And from there, from that local high in November, we have already pulled back down 62%. 2 times in a row. So once in January and once again here, we're sitting at a 62% discount from the November high. In March, if I start zooming in, as you can see, we do have a support trend line that we just lost recently, and we held this white ascending support trend line once in October. We bounced off of it in January this year as well. We lost it in March, and then we came back up with a back test of resistance, and then we came back down once again, and we're running into that level once again. As you can see, this is also lining up with the 1.272 Fibonacci level at $1.96. So this is going to be a major resistance level for us to break. There is a good chance that we see another pullback from here, potentially toward the 20 EMA on the daily chart. And we did get a bearish cross where the 20 crossed below the 55. So that was a bearish indicator on its own. Also, what I want to show you is that we had this major descending diagonal resistance trend line. So we created it all the way back in May of 2021. You ran into it once again in November of 2021. You pulled back down from there and you came back all the way up to retest it once again in April last year. Then you had another move to the downside with a little fake out above and then a pullback once again and a back test of resistance in December last year. And finally in January, we broke above and now we came back down and we back tested it as support. So this is major news in my opinion, because once you break this sort of a major multi-month diagonal resistance trend line, and you come back down for a back test of support, this is a strong sign. So this 1.414 fib level and the yellow support trend line from now on are your strong support levels. So anything below $1.49 would be a steal in my opinion. For those of you who are not familiar with Band Protocol, this is an Oracle protocol on the Cosmos blockchain, or built on the Cosmos blockchain. And I think that when Chainlink starts pumping, similar projects or projects in the same niche are going to be pumping as well. So I do think that we're going to be seeing nice moves to the upside in the bull market. We'll take a look at our long-term targets in just a few minutes. So overall, if we don't break above this, I would expect us to come back down to the 1.414 once again. So you can set up some buy limit orders all the way down to $1.50. Just remember to have the support, or have the buy limit orders, I should say, set up slightly above the support levels, just so you have more chances of getting filled. Because if you pile in with everyone else at the same exact level, there's a good chance that you might not get filled. Someone else is going to get filled and you're going to be forced to buy back higher because the price is going to reverse. So you want to avoid that possibility. If we see a flash crash, or we see a lot of Binance FUD continuing to flood the markets, we potentially might see a strong wick to the downside all the way down to $1. That is going to be an amazing buying opportunity. So if you think that we are going to be getting more FUD and Binance is going to, get its ass handed to it, then yeah, we're going to see a stronger pullback. And in that case, buying anywhere around $1 or even below that would be a great entry. Of course, if we start losing this October 2022 low, that is going to be negative for the project and for the price, because you're going to be losing a major low, a major support level, and you're going to be continuing the downtrend. So for now, we're holding the low, we're printing a higher low, and what we want to be doing is we want to be breaking above the November high and the April 2022 high. So I would imagine that come August, we can be sitting at around about $7, hopefully, because breaking the April high is going to be a major indicator. That's also where the 786 Fibonacci level is. So I think $7, $6.8 is going to be a good target come August. So we'll see how that works out. Taking a look at the daily RSI, you can see that we were just sitting in the oversold here at the start of March. Since then, we saw a move to the upside. So right now we're sitting in the middle. So if you want to be dollar cost averaging into band protocol, I guess you can do so at around about $2 at these prices. But I personally would be waiting for the retest of the 20 EMA for now. Especially with all the Binance FUD that we're getting, I'm expecting the prices to have, a pullback once again. So I do want to switch over to the weekly chart on the Binance website. And before we continue with the video, guys, I quickly want to give a shout out to everyone who has joined my Patreon. Thank you very much. And if you want to become a part of the Patreon and, get access to a lot of exclusive content, such as podcast episodes for patrons only, my trade alerts, my entire portfolio. I share everything that I buy and everything that I sell. If you want to leave some requests, we can take a look at your projects on Patreon. So there's a lot of cool stuff going on there. I try to do daily updates and daily posts in there. So if you want to try it out for free, you can do that as well. There's a 7-day free trial, so you can do that and let me know what you think. Let's get on with the video. Taking a look at the weekly chart, as you can see, we set up a Fibonacci retracement from the swing low in October to the swing high all the way up in April 2021, and we have our 1.414 target at $58 roughly. The 1.618 is sitting at $103, but I'm going to be more conservative, and I would say $58 is going to be a very strong target and a very nice area where you can secure some profits. Of course, I'm not saying that you have to take profits and sell your entire bag at $58. You don't even have to sell at $58 if you don't want to. I'm simply saying that based on this Fibonacci retracement, $58 looks like a good target. Of course, if we have hyperinflation, if we're going to be seeing mega pumps in the next bull market, then potentially with these wicks to the upside, we can even reach $102. So it all depends on where Bitcoin is going to be going and where Bitcoin tops up, because that is obviously the driving factor, and that's the king of all cryptos. But of course, we need to have long-term targets set up in advance, just because you don't want to be one of those fools riding all the way up and then riding it all the way down and not taking profits, because that's the mistake that a lot of people make here in the space. So on the weekly chart, if we start zooming into the Fibonacci retracement, you can see that our golden ratio here, or the golden pocket, is between $6.10 all the way down to $4.36. And as you can see, this golden ratio has been a major support level. You have a bounce over here, bounce over here, a bounce over here, then you lose it, back test it as resistance, and you come back down even lower. So the next time we're moving to the upside and we're breaking the 55 EMA on the weekly, I think $4.36 is going to be a major resistance level. So you might want to take some profits there if you're looking to exit, of course, or you're looking to swing trade and we get very overextended. Then, of course, you can take a bit of profits here and then look for a pullback toward the 0.236 at $3.15 roughly. Taking a look at the weekly RSI, you can see that we are in between a support and a resistance level. We can also add another secondary support level here just in case. But this one is probably going to be lost if we see a pullback in the markets. So we have a couple of support levels here below us. Let me do that. There we go. So we have this yellow support trend line and we have the pink support trend line. I would be targeting the pink support trend line for entries, for major entries at least. And you also have a major pink resistance trend line. So as you can see, you have one bounce here in February of 2021. The second bounce comes here in November of 2022. So if you're going to get tighten up here and you're going to get very, very close to the apex of this sort of symmetrical triangle, then you are potentially going to have a 50-50% breakout, because usually this is a non-biased pattern. So it all depends on what Bitcoin does, but you're going to be forced into a move. So obviously we want that move to be to the upside. If that happens, of course, you can be targeting a little resistance block that we have above us here. That's going to be a nice resistance level for us to target. I can actually move it down just a bit. There we go. And we might see a move all the way up there if we actually end up breaking out, and then we see a pullback from there back to the pink trend line. If we end up breaking down from here, the pink trend line is going to be a perfect entry. If we drop lower, you target these lows here. If we even lose those and we come into the oversold, perfect, buy as much as you can in this area. Simple as that. Jumping into the... Let's take a look at the volume here. So volume isn't doing that great, to be honest with you. We had this massive volume candle in October, so this is where a lot of big players, I assume, got into the project. And because this was the bottom, as you can see, so this is where we bottomed out here in October, and we had that massive candle, so a lot of buying volume there. And we didn't have a lot of selling volume, actually. Well, we did, but still, this is probably people selling that have held for a long time, or probably the ones who were selling just to get out of the project because they bought in, let's say, at $3 and around these prices. So they're breaking even, so to speak. And taking a look at the stochastic on the weekly, as you can see, we just started moving out of the oversold zone, which is below the stochastic index of 20. So if we end up coming back down here, that is going to be an incredible buying opportunity, just like we had one over here for the past year or so. So this is what you should be targeting. You can also go to the 3-day chart. This is a another time frame that you could be looking at. So as you can see here, we entered the December 2020, or this was January 2022, and for almost a year we stayed in the oversold, and now we're starting to move to the upside. So this is good, but this doesn't mean that we're out of the woods yet, because like I said, Binance FUD is approaching. A lot of things could happen, so be ready for any flash crashes, anything that could drop the prices drastically. Be ready for that with cash on the sidelines. Thank you all for watching the video. I'm gonna see you in the next update. Goodbye.